There's a kind of organization that most communities never build. Not a club, not a program, not a nonprofit that shows up once a year with good intentions. Something rarer. A place where people who would never otherwise meet actually meet and trust each other and build something together. Happiness Project is that kind of organization. I know this because I spent real time inside what you have built. Not reading about it, not skimming the website, actually studying it. And what I found was a bridge, a real one, already standing, already carrying weight. What I also found was an opening, not a gap in what you have done, a gap in what becomes possible now that you have built the trust infrastructure that makes it work. The people of Ojochal, Ticos, and expats alike are sitting on top of a collaboration opportunity that most small communities never get. And Happiness Project is the only organization in the area that is trusted enough by both sides of that bridge to activate it. What follows is not a pitch for something new. It is a proposal to build the next floor on top of a foundation that you already laid. What you've built here deserves to grow. This is a proposal for what that growth could look like. Build better together. A regenerative business lab at Happiness Project. Most organizations talk about community. You actually built it. What Happiness Project has created is something most places never achieve. A real bridge between Ticos and expats, between learning and livelihood, between social connection and something that actually lasts. The trust you've earned in this community, that took years. That cannot be manufactured. Everything I'm about to share is built on top of what you've already created, not in competition with it, not layered over it. Built on it. Your tagline resonates very deeply with me. Happier and better. Together. That mantra already holds the whole idea. Why Ojochal? Why now? Let's talk about where we actually are. The Bahia Ballena district has roughly 4,400 people, 11% foreign-born, 74% working in services. That's not a mass market. It's something more valuable. A high-trust, high-leverage community where relationships are infrastructure. And right now, three things are converging. AI is changing how small businesses compete. Not someday. Now. Language barriers are shrinking in ways that create new collaboration opportunities for people willing to use them. And Happiness Project is already the most trusted bridge institution in this area. Timing matters. This moment is specific, and it will not hold still. Happiness Project has three pillars: learning, economic development, social interaction. You're already delivering on all three. Classes are running. The service directory is live. People are showing up and connecting. But here's what I noticed. There isn't yet a structured, ongoing, bilingual business development program that activates all three pillars simultaneously. Not a class, not a directory, not a social hour. something that turns the trust you've built into a practical economic development engine. That's the opening, and it's sitting right inside your existing mission, already waiting. You've seen this. Someone in this community has real skill, works hard, has genuine value to offer, and still, it doesn't quite work. The offer isn't clear enough. The pricing doesn't hold. The collaboration that should happen between neighbors gets stuck somewhere in the language gap, or the cultural gap, or just the gap between a good idea and a working structure. I've studied these patterns for years. They are remarkably consistent, and they almost never come from lack of effort or intention. They come from missing systems, weak offer design, no execution architecture, cross-cultural friction that slows down even people who genuinely want to work together. These are solvable problems. That is exactly what this program is designed to address. What Build Better Together is. Build Better Together is a bilingual regenerative business lab hosted at Happiness Project. It's a structured series of seminars, workshops, clinics, and roundtables designed to help TICOs, expats, and purpose-led founders build more resilient businesses and build them together. Not startup theater, not business theory from someone who's never stood in a community like this one. Real structure, real skill building, real relationship bridges. This is not a side program. This is not a workshop series that lives in the corner of your calendar. This is a flagship offering tied directly to the mission Happiness Project already holds. People don't come here just to feel better. They can come here to build better together. Who it serves. 3 people are already showing up in your space. The first is the TICO entrepreneur. Skilled, motivated, genuinely serving real demand, but not yet equipped with the business foundations that turn good work into sustainable income, and not yet connected to the expat market that's sitting right next door. The second is the expat founder, someone who moved here or is thinking about it and wants to build something, but wants to do it responsibly, in real relationship with the local community, not just parallel to it. The third is the purpose-led builder, drawn to Costa Rica's ecosystem, has resources, has a real vision, but needs practical operational grounding to make that vision actually hold. All 3 are already in your ecosystem. This program gives them somewhere to go next. This is where it gets important. Build Better Together doesn't ask Happiness Project to choose between its existing pillars. It strengthens all 3 at the same time. Underlearning. Participants gain practical business education they can use immediately. Offer design, pricing, collaboration, regenerative systems thinking that holds up in a real local economy. Under economic development, local ventures get stronger foundations, better positioning, and Happiness Project gains a more compelling story for community partners and sponsors. Under social interaction. This is the one I want you to sit with. TICOs and expats in this program don't just meet socially. They learn to build together, solve problems together, understand each other through shared work, not just shared coffee That is a meaningful upgrade to what's already happening here. Let me show you what transformation looks like for the people this serves. Before this program, someone arrives with a good idea and a weak offer, operating alone, running into the same patterns, hitting the same walls, and unable to collaborate effectively across the language and cultural gaps that exist here, even when the will is there. After this program, they have clarity on their offer, confident pricing, a business structure that actually holds, practical tools for cross-cultural collaboration, and a real peer community of builders who understand this specific place. That transformation is measurable. It's the kind of thing people talk about. And that word of mouth is what allows Happiness Project to continue leading the way in these ever-changing times. The program runs in 5 formats, each one designed for a different depth of engagement. Community seminars, open, bilingual, accessible, designed to bring new people into the Happiness Project ecosystem, not just serve the ones already here. Regenerative business workshops, hands-on sessions on offer clarity, pricing, team alignment, and adapting to what AI is doing to local markets right now. Launch and relaunch clinics for people who already have something in motion but need stronger structure or a clearer path forward. Founder roundtables, small group strategic sessions for the people carrying bigger visions, local leaders, project founders, land stewards, community hackathons, and bilingual bridge sessions. This is the one that makes everything else possible. Carefully designed experiences where Ticos and expats actively solve problems together. Not side by side, but together. 5 formats. 1 integrated ecosystem. Already designed around what this community needs. Bilingual as competitive advantage. I want to say something clearly about the bilingual dimension of this program because it matters more than it sounds. Ojochal's economy runs on cross-cultural exchange. Every transaction, every partnership, every hiring decision has a language layer underneath it. Businesses that can operate fluently across that layer reach more customers. They hire better. They collaborate faster. That's not a social nicety. That's a market edge. I'm not proposing more language classes. I'm proposing that we teach people how to build across language differences in real time, using practical translation tools where helpful, and building the kind of cross-cultural trust that creates lasting economic relationships, not just comfortable social ones. Happiness Project can become the place where people don't just learn language. They learn to build across it. Let me tell you why I'm the right person to steward this. I spent roughly a decade working with the top 700 chambers of commerce organizations, from Las Vegas to Denver to Sanibel and Captiva Islands, to revolutionize the business association industry. From 2002 to 2010, I built a team that focused on leveraging emerging cutting-edge web technology to help these organizations modernize where they struggled, how they managed membership, community engagement, and economic development programming. Through integrated systems and technology, I became a market leader in that work. Since 2010, I've been an independent consultant. My focus has evolved toward regenerative systems, offer clarity, collapse prevention, and AI era strategy. That's the quick launch and stop the collapse frameworks. That's what this program delivers. I think at the intersection of vision, regenerative operations, education, and community design. Practical, not theoretical. And I want to say something important. I am not pitching this from a distance. My partner Tara is working as the school administrator at Life Project School, right next door. I am here to build long-term in this community. For me, that changes the potential of what this proposal holds. Here's how we begin. A 90-day compensated pilot. One flagship introductory seminar. Open, bilingual, community-facing. Designed to attract exactly the people this program serves. 2 to 3 practical workshops. Hands-on business skill building grounded in local context. 1 founder roundtable or business clinic. Deeper strategic support for the people carrying bigger visions. Bilingual support built into every session, not an afterthought. In a clear feedback and refinement loop. So we learn what's working and build the next phase from real data. I want to be direct about one thing. This is a professional engagement, not a volunteer gesture, not enthusiasm in exchange for access. Good work deserves to be compensated, and compensation is what allows me to do this well and sustain it over time. That's not a negotiating position. It's how good work gets done. What success looks like. We'll know this pilot is working when we see 5 things. Participants report clearer direction and measurable progress in their businesses. Not just good feelings, real movement. TICO and expat attendance grows together, not in parallel silos. Programming starts attracting attention from people and organizations beyond Ojochal. Happiness Project has a stronger story to tell community partners, donors, and sponsors. And at 90 days, a second phase feels obvious. Not a hard sell, not a negotiation. Obvious. That's what a well-designed pilot does. It earns its own continuation. What success looks like? Let me close with the bigger picture, because I think it deserves to be named clearly. If this pilot works, and I believe it will, Build Better Together can become a flagship offering for Happiness Project. You're planning a new building. I've heard that. This program can become the economic development anchor of that expanded space. Something that makes the new square footage feel purposeful from day one. Life Project School is right next door. There are real partnership possibilities there for shared learners, shared community, shared mission. Secondary now, worth naming. And longer term, Ojochal gets noticed as a model for regenerative economic development in a cross-cultural community. A story worth telling and worth funding. The infrastructure you've built is the foundation. This is the next 2 floors. So here is my ask. Authorize a 90-day compensated pilot for Build Better Together. Let's agree on scope, timing, and compensation, and begin. I am ready to design this in detail. I am ready to show up and do the work, and I am committed to making this something Happiness Project is proud of. You've built something rare here. A real bridge, real trust, real community. I'd like to help you build on it. Happier and better. Together. That's not just your mantra. That's what this project looks like in action. The Tico entrepreneur with real skill and no offer. The expat founder who wants to build here and does not know how to do it right. The purpose-led builder who came to Costa Rica with a vision and is already losing momentum. They are not waiting for this program to be invented. They are already in your space, already showing up, already hoping something like this exists. The only question is whether Happiness Project becomes the place where that hope gets answered. I believe it can. I believe you believe it can. So let's find out. 90 days, a clear structure, a compensated engagement, and a community that is ready, happier, and better together.